This is Charlotte Reed reporting live from Clearwater Beach, where an unidentified... Just kidding, I'm not real.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, is everywhere.
ChatGPT is on everybody's lips in every home, and at some point I realized this is happening faster than I anticipated.
Today we're going to be talking about artificial intelligence. Can it make art? Is it beneficial in an art class? There's a lot of controversies when it comes to AI, but I believe that a lot of that is surrounded around fear. Artificial is an amazing resource when used properly. Not only in art class, but in every single subject. In science, it helps us asking, hey, how does photosynthesis work? In math class, we can use it when we don't know how to do long division. In English, we can say, hey, what's the layout for a research paper? Yes, I believe there's a lot of greatness with AI, but there's also a lot of concerns. When AI is abused and is no longer used as a tool, but instead as a way to cheat, the learning process stops, stunting intellectual development. That is why I think it is so important that we talk and teach about AI so we can learn the proper ways to use it. Bringing this back to art class, there are many methods that artificial intelligence has aided artists. Watch this news article and see.
Daily Planet coming to you live, it's Isabel Groves. Today we're going to be discussing a few stories on the topics of AI. Our first story here is Audrey Eve Goulet. She bit off more than she could chew and decided to try out AI. Goulet is an artist that has been painting her whole life. She first started selling paintings at 14, but grew frustrated at the weeks or even months that it took to create just one piece. Now that she is famous, she has a wait list of around 500 people. With not enough time to please all of her customers, she and her company decided to invest in the AI robot arm that is capable of replicating her work. She explains, I was surprised, in a good way. It truly looks like one of my works. In the art world, there is lots of controversy around artificial intelligence and art, but Goulet explains that her company is grounded around the so-called 3 C's: consent, credit, and compensation. Here, artificial intelligence is not taking the art or ruining it. It is merely replicating copies of it, replicating every detail down to the individual brushstrokes.
This is a great example of how artists can use AI as a tool. This method is a breakthrough in the art world that will hopefully allow all artists to be able to make a living off of their work. Using these AI robot arms to recreate exact replicas of your work, you're able to gain a more reliable income by not having to spend weeks or even months on a single painting. With all this extra time, artists can focus their energy on coming up with new ideas and new art to sell. With that being said, there are some concerns about whether or not the painting loses value when a robot recreates the work. I think there is some truth to that, and you could argue that more emotion or story was put into the original piece. But this form of reprint is held to a much higher standard than if you were to just take a picture and print it off. Let's move on to using AI in the classroom. Here we have another news report.
This just in, a new story on AI. Lucas Orphanides is unable to do art because of his diagnosis. When Orphanides was young, he was diagnosed with severe dysgraphia. This is a diagnosis that affects a person's fine motor skills. For Orphanides, this made tasks like tying his shoes, painting, writing nearly impossible. He explains that yes, it was hard, but the worst was not being able to participate in art class and feel proud of the work. Then, everything changed in grade 11 when artificial intelligence systems came out and Orphanides found an AI art maker called DALL-E. He played around with the software, not thinking too much about it, until 18 months later, he was an expert. He explains, I love having the ability to spend hours refining words and styles to create the exact piece that I envision. Seeing the tangible results of something in my mind actually in front of me gives me a sense of freedom to express myself in a way that wasn't possible before artificial intelligence.
As you can see here, artificial intelligence can help students feel empowered by their work. But once again, when we are using AI, it should be used as a tool and not as a way to do the work for us. That brings us to the question, how do we as artists not abuse AI? And when using AI, how do we ensure that the result is ours? With Lucas Orphanides, I think what makes his art his is the time and thought he spends working on his piece. As explained, he modifies his work, changing the prompts until the piece meets the vision in his mind. It is about the effort and time that is put into an art piece. To have more valued and meaningful work, there needs to be a story, some sort of takeaway that leaves you pondering and questioning the world. To conclude, AI is a powerful tool that can be used in art and still be considered art. But when we are using it in a class, we need to make sure that the result does not reflect AI's work, it reflects our own. And the final piece will represent all the effort and thought that we put in. Thank you.